everybody, it's Madeline, the Fit Vegetarian, and I am coming at you live again from my car. It seems like it's becoming a habit of mine, but you know how it goes when you're in a hurry and you're dashing around from one place to the next, running errands, picking kids up, taking kids, from point A to point B. Like right now, I just dropped off my daughter at piano, and before I head off to run an errand, in the meantime, I thought, let me just really quickly do this video for you guys and let you know a couple of, or today I have three healthy tips for you today. So I thought, let me just do this really quickly because I do want to share and get this information out to you guys. I hope you guys are having a terrific day. It's a gorgeous day here. I'm in Southern California and it's like in the high 80s here today. I know that some of my Midwest and East Coast friends are battling the snow, which is crazy to me. I mean, it is March, right? We're almost at spring, and you guys are having some crazy weather. So sending some nice warm thoughts your way. All right, so let's get right down to it and quickly talk about what my tips are for today. So tip number one is ditch table salt in favor of sea salt. All right, so yeah, of course we want to always try to decrease the amount of salt that we take in because it's not good for our body. And if you have high blood pressure, it's super important that you really monitor your sodium intake. However, we do need a balance of sodium in our bodies in order for our body to function well. So when you do reach for salt, I want you to reach for sea salt. Why do I want you to reach for sea salt rather than table salt? First of all, table salt is, to even call it salt, it really is a misnomer in my opinion, because it's not, what's left of it after it's been processed is hardly salt. They add MSG to it. They add a host of chemicals to table salt so that it doesn't cake, so that it stays, in nice little granules. And it's just really, it's just not salt, people. You can't really even refer to it as salt. So sea salt, on the other hand, has loads and loads of trace minerals, which our bodies need to function optimally. Things like magnesium, sodium, potassium, calcium. So it's just phenomenal for you. I personally like the pink Himalayan salt. I swear by that one. And I'll post a link. Also, I'm going to write up this information as well, and I'll post the blog for it, and I'll put the link in there so that you can see which one it is that I buy. But I love it. And that's all that I use now is pink Himalayan sea salt when I cook, or even if you want to add it to something that you're eating. That is what I use. It's my go-to salt now. The next tip that I have for you is carbs before 3. So why is that? Why do we want to consume our carbohydrates earlier in the day rather than later? Well, the main reason is because our body uses carbohydrates for energy, for activity. So whenever we move, if we exercise, any type of activity that we do, our body utilizes carbs for the energy in order to be able to do those movements. So if you eat your carbs earlier in the day, you're going to use them up, right? So what happens if you eat a ton of carbs later in the evening and then you're not as active? Let's say you have a big bowl of pasta in the evening, okay, and then you just sit and watch TV for the rest of the night and you're not very active. While those carbs are just kind of sitting in your body, they're not being used by your body for activity, so they get converted or stored as glycogen in your body. And then the glycogen sits around for a while going, okay, are you going to use me up, or what's the deal here, right? And if you don't use it up, guess what, you guys? It gets converted to fat, or stored as fat. Better stated, it gets stored as fat in your body. That is the last thing that we want. We don't want to be storing any fat in our body. So that's why I recommend that you get your carbohydrates in before 3 o'clock. I'd stretch it even to like before 6 o'clock in the evening. And I think you'll do great. Now remember, I'm not just talking pasta, bread, potatoes, things like that. Remember that fruits have a lot of carbohydrates in them too. So try to get your fruit in earlier in the day for breakfast, lunch, or some of your early snacks. And the starchy vegetables as well. Okay. Now, do I always stick to this and never eat carbs after 3 or 6 p.m.? No, but I'd say more than half of I'd say about 50% or more of my week, I will stick with this. And I do notice a difference. When I do have carbs later in the evening, when I wake up the next morning, I feel more bloated, in my tummy area. So I do notice the difference. So try to stick to that as much as you can, and I'm sure that you'll notice the difference as well. And finally, the last tip that I want to give you for today is apple cider vinegar. Now, if you have not discovered apple cider vinegar, you guys have to get on board with this. Now, I'm not talking like the Heinz apple cider vinegar that you use to dye Easter eggs in. I'm talking about raw, organic, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, and it's the kind that has on the bottom, you'll see it has what we call the mother, and that's like it's because it's unfiltered, it has all these particles floating around in it, and that is the magic, the wonderful stuff that you want to consume. So when you go to drink it, you're going to shake it up really well, because you do want to make sure that the mother is distributed throughout the apple cider vinegar. And you take 1 to 2 tablespoons, and you can do it one of two ways. You can either take the 1 to 2 tablespoons and mix it in with a little bit of water and then just chug it back really fast, or you can take 1 to 2 tablespoons of the apple cider vinegar, put it in a big glass of water, add some honey, add some lemon to it, and kind of make it a drink that you can drink it a little slower. Now, this stuff is not, how should I put it? Okay, I'm not going to be tactful. This stuff is gross. If you've had it, you will agree with me. Like, you'll be shaking your head. Yes, this stuff is nasty. But you know what? I drink it because of the wonderful properties that it has and what it does for my body. My goodness, you guys, the benefits are just unreal. Number 1, it's loaded with antioxidants. Number 2, it helps to regulate your blood sugar. So if you're borderline diabetic, or if you suffer from diabetes, this will really help to regulate your blood sugar levels and to stabilize them. It also helps to stabilize your cholesterol levels, which is fantastic. Gosh, what else does apple cider vinegar do? I mean, it's just like a little miracle in a bottle. It can also help with acid reflux and heartburn. So I used to suffer from really bad acid reflux, and I actually took medication for it. Like, I was on Nexium for a long time, and that didn't help me at all. And I'm now off of that stuff. So it's really helped me with that as well. So another way that you can consume it is use it for your salad dressing. Like, just pour some of it with some olive oil on your salad, and it's perfect. The biggest tip with regard to the apple cider vinegar, honestly, plug your nose. Yeah, I can't begin to tell you. To me, it smells like dirty, stinky socks. That's what it smells like to me. I know you guys are probably thinking, well, she's not really making a good case for me wanting to drink it. But I want to be honest with you guys, okay? That's something that I'm always going to be. Like, what you see is what you get with me, okay? It's like, hello, there's like no makeup on today, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to hide behind my sunglasses. This is me. This is the real me. And so I don't want to fool you with anything. The stuff is gross. It's gross, but trust me, drink it because it's good for you. All right? Just remember, like, what your mom used to tell you when you were a kid. Like, trust your mom. Just drink it because it's good for you. So those are my tips for you today. I hope you found them helpful. And of course, my biggest tip, as always, is to please, please, please remember to always fuel up for a fit life, you guys. Make it a great day. Bye-bye.